Today, we're flying business class for 10 hours from Tokyo to LA on ANA's R2-D2 Star Wars Dreamliner. Normally, this flight would cost you around $6,600 one way, or just 45,000 credit card points. We're going to see if this flight is worth the points, the money, and the hype, because behind the Star Wars branding, there are hidden themed touches you'll want to see for yourself. And before we even board, we're checking out ANA's business class lounge at Haneda, one of Japan's most talked about lounges. Let's see if it sets the stage for a flight that's potentially out of this world. See what I did there? The ANA business class lounge here at Haneda is massive. There's plenty of seating, tons of space to spread out, and even showers near the front if you want to freshen up before your flight. They've got a full beverage bar, beer, wine, hard alcohol, juice, coffee, you name it. There's literally a drink for everyone here. And when it comes to food, this lounge actually goes beyond your typical Amex Centurion Lounge buffet. There's a solid hot food lineup with options that actually taste good, and they even have a noodle bar serving up fresh ramen, soba, udon, and curry made to order. The best part, they have two separate food and beverage stations on opposite ends of the lounge, so you never really have to wait around. And the entire lounge sits right above the gate where we'll be boarding our R2-D2 Star Wars flight in just a bit. Because I wanted to save my appetite for the 3 courses we'll be getting on tonight's flight, I decided to keep it light and just grab a tonkotsu ramen from the noodle bar. And honestly, the ramen was really good, like restaurant quality. The broth was rich, the noodles had the right bite and texture, and it was exactly what I needed before a long flight. If for some reason you didn't get a chance to eat ramen while you were in Japan, this is your last chance to grab a legit bowl before you leave. Definitely worth it. After finishing that bowl of ramen and hanging out in the lounge for a bit, it was finally time to board the flight. Boarding was easy, just a short escalator ride down from the lounge, and I was on the plane without much wait at all. My seat tonight was 8A, a bulkhead seat in the first row of business class on this special Star Wars edition R2-D2 plane. This aircraft is a Boeing 787 with a 1-2-1 seat configuration, so every seat has direct aisle access. I chose the bulkhead because it usually means a bit more room, especially the space above the monitor, which I'm planning to use for something special in just a bit. They had all the goodies laid out on the seat, but I like to clear everything away first. We'll open most of it later, but the first thing I always do, unbox the slippers and change out of my shoes immediately. Now we're officially in the comfort zone before takeoff. Before we pushed back, they came around with a pre-departure drink, champagne or orange juice. For this one, I just went with the orange juice. For the first Star Wars themed experience, ANA actually plays a special pre-departure soundtrack while you're getting settled in your seat. Go ahead and have a listen to a short clip of it.
Such a pleasure to welcome you on board, and we do hope you enjoy your flight on this special Star Wars aircraft.
And with that, we're officially up and away into the Tokyo night, flying over the city lights as our 10-hour journey to LA begins. Before we dive into the seat tour, I want to share one of the best travel discoveries I've made and something I always use now when I travel internationally, and that's Airlo, the sponsor of today's video. Every time I travel abroad, I always use eSIMs because they're so easy, affordable, and reliable. You don't have to deal with clunky portable Wi-Fi routers like my family used to carry, overpriced international roaming from your carrier, or painfully slow and limited free roaming options. Instead, I use an eSIM from Airlo, and it just makes life so much easier. Airlo is the world's first eSIM store, trusted by over 20 million travelers worldwide. You can download a digital SIM straight to your phone through their app, with coverage in more than 200 countries and regions. For this exact trip, I installed my eSIM ahead of time, so the second I landed in Tokyo, I was connected. No airport lines, no hunting for Wi-Fi. I could instantly pull up maps, translate signs, and message my loved ones. Staying connected isn't just about convenience for me, it's peace of mind when I travel. Airlo helps you save money, avoid roaming fees, and saves you from a lot of travel headaches. If you want to try it out, just download the Airlo app for free today and use my code CHASEY3 to get $3 off your first eSIM. You could use the link in the description or scan this QR code right here. Thank you, Airlo, for sponsoring this video. The seat here starts off strong with not one, not 2, but 3 windows all to yourself. Each of those windows has shade adjustments so you can control the brightness, letting you dial in the perfect lighting while you're flying over Tokyo at night. But all seriousness, it does come in handy during the daytime. You've also got plenty of legroom to really stretch out, and there's a space under the leg rest for your shoes, maybe a bag, maybe even a small child if you wanted. There's lots of room down there. Moving up, next to the entrance, there's a small hanger hook if you brought a jacket on board. And next to you, there's a side table that's just under 3 shakas wide and a little over 2 shakas tall, giving you plenty of space for your gadgets or a drink. There's a headphone rack with a small cubby behind it for your barf bag and safety brochure, and next to it a USB ports, a power outlet for charging, and a headphone jack for the in-flight entertainment. Above, you'll find a reading lamp that swivels around with adjustable brightness, and just under that is your entertainment remote. It pops out, and yeah, it's a bit dated. It's got a whole keyboard on the back, it's attached to a cord, and it looks like an old GameCube controller with these colorful buttons. Next to your side table, you could pull out the dining table, which is about 3 shakas wide and 2 shakas high. Plenty of space for your meals. When it comes to seat controls, you've got lumbar support, a do not disturb button, forward and backward adjustments that can help you slide your seat closer to the tray table when it's mealtime, so you're not awkwardly reaching for your food during the 3 courses we'll have on this flight. And you also have recline controls to go fully flat or upright. And here's a small but cool detail. One of the armrests actually folds down and tucks away automatically when you recline your seat, giving you more space when you're lying flat. The other armrest, well, it stays fixed in place, so when you move your seat down, that armrest awkwardly stays up. And one of the biggest perks of choosing this bulkhead seat, there's no one in front of you, so your view is clear and you get a true sense of privacy up here. As the food menus were being passed out, a special guest decided to join us on this flight, sitting right next to me. He looks hungry, and I'm definitely hungry, so let's take a look at what's on the menu. Like every international flight on ANA, there's a Japanese option and an international option. Honestly, the international menu sounded pretty good, with things like smoked duck, sauteed beef, or grilled salmon, served with bread, pudding, cheese, and fresh fruit for dessert. But since we were coming from Japan, I had to go with the Japanese option. It felt right. And it's not just the food. There are even more drink options on board, ranging from sake, champagne, shochu, red and white wine, whiskey, cocktails, beer and brandy, to non-alcoholic choices like juice, water, milk, coffee, and soda. As a flight attendant takes my order, you might notice these special R2-D2 aprons they're wearing to match the Star Wars theme of this flight. She was even kind enough to offer me a front row seat with Yoda himself, staring me down while I patiently waited for the first course to arrive. To kick dinner off, we started with beverage service, where I ordered an apple juice and a glass of champagne, keeping it balanced before a long night flight. As the food came out, the first course was a beautiful spread of appetizers. We had chicken tenderloin and jellyfish with tofu paste, smoked salmon sushi, deep fried bullbill fish cake, chicken and vegetable roll, seared bonito with a tiny bottle of ponzu, and eggplant and pumpkin tofu with sesame cream. By far, my favorite part of these appetizers was the seared bonito. It was fresh, tender, and dipped in that ponzu sauce. It just worked. I also really enjoyed the smoked salmon. I already think salmon is the best fish in the entire world, and adding a smoky flavor to it just takes it to a whole nother level for me. Third place probably went to the chicken and jellyfish tofu paste dish, which honestly looked a bit like macaroni salad. At least I think that's what the chicken and jellyfish thing was. Everything else was pretty solid, and I ended up eating almost all of it, but I was really excited for the main course, which was coming up next. For the main course, we had simmered beef in shoyu, otherwise known as soy sauce, and grilled Greenland halibut with shoyu, served alongside steamed rice, miso soup, and Japanese pickles. And let me tell you, this meal was easily 10 times tastier than the appetizers. The halibut was moist, perfectly cooked, and fell apart with every bite, while the marinated beef was a straight up flavor bomb in the mouth. I absolutely mopped up everything on the tray for dinner, minus the mushrooms and pickled stuff, because those just aren't really my thing. Before I get ready for bed, I want to show you a few more things that come on this flight. First thing to check out after dinner is the in-flight entertainment system. Although it's a bit dated, it's still a touchscreen, so you could use either the remote or just your fingers to control it. They've got up-to-date movies, a sky map, music, and of course the ANA shop if you want to do some in-flight shopping. Other than that, it's your basic entertainment system, but it gets the job done. Next up is the Amenity Kit that comes with your seat. It's given to you in a Globetrotter leather pouch, which is a nice touch. Inside you'll find L'Occitane lip balm, body lotion, earplugs, an eye mask, a toothbrush, and toothpaste, which will definitely come in handy right now as I head to the bathroom to get ready for bed. Here's a look inside the ANA business class bathroom. There's basically a full-length mirror, a baby changing table, and a toilet that also has a bidet on it. Always a nice touch on a Japanese airline. There's also a porthole for natural lights when it's day, extra mouthwash, toothbrushes, toothpaste, and face and body sheets, along with the mirror and sink setup. Usually you don't really think about brushing your teeth on a flight, but when it's a red eye like this, it definitely feels like you should. Thankfully, with the provided toothbrush and toothpaste, I was able to freshen up and get comfortable for bed. And it looks like Yoda found himself a more comfortable seat away from people as he gets ready for bed too. Now the cabin is dimly lit for the night, and to make your bed, you just recline the seats all the way flat. ANA also provides a comfortable mattress pad to lay on top of your seat, along with the blankets and pillow from earlier. We've got about 6 hours left on this flight, and I'm going to try to sleep all the way until our next meal. Good morning. I was only able to sleep for about 4 hours because now it's time for breakfast. Even though it was just 4 hours, it was probably one of the best sleeps I've ever had on an airplane. That bed setup was just that comfortable. Once again, for breakfast, I opted for the Japanese cuisine option, which came with marinated tofu and spinach in shoyu, grilled alfonsino marinated in miso, steamed rice, miso soup, and Japanese pickles. Once again, the fish was moist and just packed with flavor. The miso soup was comforting as always, and the tofu and spinach mix wasn't too bad either. Overall, I'd say this was on par with the dinner that we had last night, which is pretty impressive for airplane food. And while that was the last course of this flight, there are still a couple more limited experiences on this Star Wars themed aircraft that I have to show you, and they're pretty special. The first of those special Star Wars experiences were some souvenirs you could take home, starting with a few R2-D2 ANA boarding certificates, which are these small plastic card souvenirs, and they also gave out a few Star Wars aircraft postcards to remember the flight. Then, as we started our descent into Los Angeles, a special announcement came on over the speakers.
We would like to show our Nashi spirit by using rainbow illumination for 10 minutes. This is an original special illumination. The cabin will be dark on the way. Please feel free to use the reading lights.
I'm sorry if it wasn't the clearest audio, but it was all a part of the Star Wars experience on board. They actually played a special Star Wars themed illumination light show for about 10 minutes, which you're looking at clips of right now. I fly on ANA pretty often, and I have to say this is one of the more unique experiences you could get with them. As we taxi on the runway in Los Angeles, I want to share my final thoughts on this flight. Even though it is on a slightly dated aircraft, you could still expect the same great ANA business class experience on this Star Wars flight. You're getting excellent food, comfortable seats, and the amazing ANA customer service they're known for. And if you're a Star Wars fan, I would especially recommend taking a flight like this. There really isn't anything else like it, and it's such a unique experience that you'll truly enjoy. So next time you fly to Japan, be on the lookout for one of their business class flights. And if you don't want to spend thousands of dollars on plane tickets, I'd recommend looking into how to use credit card points instead. I actually show you exactly how to use points to get flights like these in these videos, so I'd recommend watching them next. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Shoots.